Hi Taurus, I'm Eleanor and welcome to your second week of February pick a card reading. Thank you to all my new subscribers, and if you would like to keep up with how this story is unfolding, you can hit that subscribe button as well and get notified every week when I do the next pick a card reading. And also, if at any time you hear something that is of service to you or helps you out or makes some sense, go ahead and hit that like button. Today we're discussing your monthly energy, which is the Ten of Swords, being totally done with the cycle, and your weekly energy, which is surrender to setting limits. And if you want to know more about these energies and when I pulled them, the links to those videos are below, as well as information on how to get a personal reading with me. Today I'm using the Earth Wisdom Oracle and the John Bauer Tarot. And this Earth Wisdom Oracle, with each card, has a supporting botanical and stone that goes with it. So if you'd like to know what that is from the guidebook, go ahead and comment below and ask me, and I'll look that up and let you know. So I have stacked 1, 2, and 3. They're time stamped below, so you can skip right to the one that you feel like is meant for you. So let's get started with stack 1 for Taurus. You have 6 of Cups, Ace of Wands, and Freedom. See how this Freedom card, Freedom, which seems like such a bright, airy, it should be like a yellow energy. It is a dark moonlit card, and that is because it's talking about the freedom, the true and genuine freedom that comes with doing your shadow work. Doing what it is to do that deep dive that it takes to free yourself from the past. And being freed from your past is the true ultimate freedom, where none of your decisions are driven by unmet needs from the past or narratives from the past that no longer hold true, but to be able to live fully in this present moment. So with the 6 of Cups showing up here, I want you to go back to a time earlier in your life where you did not set the limits that you needed to protect yourself as you move forward. And how did that direct you to this Ten of Swords, where you're at a dead end and where you can't go forward anymore? So to doing this shadow work and going back, it's asking you to explore an area in your past where you did not set the proper limits. And how can you now, moving forward, put those limits in place so that you can move freely forward. And this Ace of Wands is talking, it goes hand in hand with this freedom, with the excitement, with the, like a bird soaring free, like that total exuberation and exhilaration that comes with a sudden freedom, watching the walls fall from around you and seeing the light of day and flying free, and the excitement and the power that gives you to move forward. So that's why these two are tied together. So yeah, that's what I want to say for that one. Stack 2, you have the Star, Knight of Pentacles, and Prosperity. So right off, I want to say that prosperity, and speaking on wealth, that wealth can mean many things. Immediately, we're thinking money, we're thinking finances, but for the sake of this reading, try to expand your mind as to all the many things that can be. Wealth in relationships, wealth in love, wealth in having a job that you like, a wealth in property or health. Broaden your definition of what prosperity means. It means more than just having some cash in your pocket. So the thing about prosperity and wealth is that it works by flowing, by being in circulation, by movement, and that it's not a stagnant, still energy. And so when you are hoarding or holding on tight and sitting on your pile of coins like a dragon, that isn't true prosperity and true wealth, because it's not moving. Prosperity is a movement, and it's a kinetic energy and a kinetic concept. So I feel like the boundaries they're wanting you to set, these limits they want, it's what do you need to move forward in a way that doesn't lead you to this dead end place? What is it that facilitates your continuous movement forward and continuous progress? Because the Knight of Pentacles perseveres and he moves forward constantly, even though the results may not be immediate and be windfalls. It's a little bit at a time, and it's the kind of accumulation of prosperity that you don't get if you skip a day, if you don't show up consistently, and if you give up too soon because it hasn't been happening quick enough. So what I'm feeling from this limit setting they're wanting you to do is to find and to create a lane for yourself, a lane that's like a super highway that keeps you feeling, that's a little bit like in the airport where you step onto that moving belt that helps you go faster. It's not like an escalator that goes up, it just, you walk on it and it speeds up your path. Or like the jet stream, or a stream within a water wave that you can catch and move. Or catching like what do they call them? The geese on the ends of the V, using the momentum of that. It's something that smooths your path so you can move forward freely and unobstructed and unencumbered. And on one hand, it's going to be the boundaries around, on one side, your beliefs around scarcity consciousness and the way that you hoard and sit and are afraid to part with anything because of that fear that it will never come back and that you will lose and you will be left with nothing. And that kind of thinking can be self-fulfilling. So that's where you need that boundary on one side. And on the other, it's going to be about setting the limit to how much you can let go of. To be reasonable, if we are talking about money, to set a budget. What can I afford to have in motion and to have in circulation, and what has to be in reserve to be put into circulation at another time. So if you can do that and create that lane for yourself, then you can keep moving forward and not get to this dead end, this Ten of Swords, as being totally done and not knowing what to do and being stuck. All right, stack 3. Queen of Cups, the Magician, and heart healing. So, in order to heal yourself, you can't bypass or distract. You have to be able to fully feel the emotions and process them in order to move them out. As long as you're resisting them, as long as you're ignoring them and trying not to feel them, they will stay and they will always be under the surface, peeking out in unexpected and undesirable ways. So this is telling you to let your emotions and what you're processing bubble to the surface and see the light of day in some way, and to channel it into something creative, to honor your emotions and to honor your pain and honor what you're going through by giving them form. The Magician takes energy and makes it a concrete thing, brings it from the above into the below. And so that's what you're doing. You're taking the emotions that you're processing and you're channeling them into a creative project, into an artwork, into a health project, something that you're doing in the physical world. And by doing so, that helps process them out, and it helps shed the light on them, and so that they don't grow in the shadows and gain strength in the shadows. So if you would comment and tell me what it is you're working on and what it is you're creating, I'd really like to know. It would be super exciting. The boundaries where you're setting limits, that's going to be setting limits around something that I've noticed, which is positivity culture, and telling you that you just have to think positive, or that you don't get to go through your process, that negative emotions will attract more negative to you, and that to me is not a helpful message. You must feel your pain to process it out, and that positivity culture is a form of spiritual bypassing, and it isn't doing the work. It's trying to get to the end the easy way, and it won't help. You won't get there. You're going to end up at this dead end, this Ten of Swords. So go ahead and you can set your limits around that, and within that boundary, channel your feelings and your emotions and what you're trying to process out into a creative project. All right, Taurus, stick around. I have another one coming out soon. Thank you.